So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a unique way of understanding aspects in astrology, especially Vedic astrology. Okay, you probably have not understood or looked at aspects in this way because you will understand much more than what your eye is seeing. Okay, so let's look at this particular chart, and this is the chart that I actually reviewed of someone's mother on my Capricorn blank chart prediction course. So I go into much more details there. But I'm like, this is interesting when I was making and showing in the student's chart that this would be a great way for other people to understand how aspects are actually working. Okay. So if you see, this is a chart, but don't look at this as an Aries ascendant. Okay. So as you all know, this is the ascendant, but this is not Aries. Okay, it's just a printout, basic printout. So how is it that in this chart, Venus is receiving literally all the 9 aspects of planets, or all the 8 planetary aspects, you can say? How is it that? First of all, and we're only going to use Vedic aspects, not even Nadi. No trine, no 311. That's very easy. But this is where you will understand how the energy of a planet is transferring. How is it that every planet is looking at one single planet and others as well. So first thing first, in Vedic aspects, which planet is looking at Venus without any of the other complication? We see that Mars, from where it's sitting through its 8th aspect, is going to look at Venus. Okay. Mars is going to look at Venus. Also, Rahu's 9th aspect is also looking at Venus. Okay. So now, after this, how is it every planet is looking at Venus? Well, let's look at this. Saturn looks at Mars with his 10th aspect. Okay. Then, because of Saturn looking at Mars with his 10th aspect, Mars is transferring that energy to Venus. So, Saturn looks at Venus. And this should give you a big clue as to how every single planet is looking at Venus. Moon looks at Saturn. Okay, Saturn and Moon are aspecting each other. So, Moon looks at Saturn. Saturn looks at Mars. Mars is looking at Venus. So Moon's energy is going to Venus. Mercury and Jupiter are looking at Mars. That means now their energy is transferring again to Venus. How is it that Sun is looking at Venus? Sun aspects Rahu. And through Rahu, Sun is looking at Venus, including Ketu, because Ketu is giving its effect to the Sun. So Ketu gives its effect to the Sun, and then Sun looks at Venus. In a way, you can say Saturn is actually looking at Venus twice. Saturn will look at Ketu and Sun with his 3rd aspect. That aspect transfers to Rahu. Rahu transfers it to Venus. Now, why is this significant? This person's mother had 5 abortions. And no, they're not miscarriages. They were actually abortions. Okay. This person who gave me this chart, they were the 6th child, and they were also, going to be aborted, but they were saved. Doctor said, no, your, your health could be, now, your health could be in danger. And I don't know what the reason was. There could be any reason. Okay. People have their reasons. That's not what we're looking at here. But because in this particular Capricorn ascendant chart, Venus became the 5th house lord sitting in the 11th house. And of course, there was a nakshatra play as well. Okay. That of course I talk about in there as well. But so many energies of planets, literally the 6th lord, 8th lord, 12th lord were all impacting Venus. And then of course this is why we also look at the divisional charts, Saptamsa chart. I looked at the Saptamsa chart, that was clearly showing that. But I just wanted to show you, if you're looking at some planet, look at it in this way and you will understand how many houses energy and planetary energies are going to that planet. In this case, literally every single house and every single house lord is affecting this particular Venus of this individual's mother. Okay, so just wanted to show you guys this, and also the reason why, look at the fact that Mars is retrograde. Retrograde Mars became extremely intense. Okay. So, and then this is where I also talked about some of the Nadi rules and Nadi things and why Mars did what it did. Because Mars moves backwards towards Rahu. Okay. So they form a yoga with that trine conditions with Venus. But that's another story, and I don't want to show you here because I've already made so much of a mess here. But this is how you should try to study aspects, because this is how you will understand why in a certain dasha a certain event occurred, and you're just looking at the fact that this planet is not ruling this house, this planet is not a lord of this house, or it doesn't represent this particular event. Why did it happen? Once you make these type of aspects understand that energy transferring from one planet to the other, then it'll make it much easier. It actually is not supposed to make your life complicated. It's supposed to make your understanding of a birth chart much clearer and more understanding. Okay, so thank you very much, and I'm going to show you something with Sun and its transit probably tomorrow. Thank you.